This is the Mr. Madrid show. This is our first time going completely live, and we have the honor to have a special guest today. He goes by the name Dean Morel. He is a
Yes,
creative,
sir.
a rapper, an artist, an extraordinaire. Somebody who's highly talented. I'm always blasting his music very often because I'd rather listen to my homies than listen to other music, but I'm always bumping his tunes. Right before getting ready for this actual podcast today, we were blasting one of the songs that he has with Dubwork, and my daughter walks in and she's like, "That's fly, Dad." So that was super
Oh
dope. I
wow,
had to add that to this. But
that's
yeah, man,
cool.
I want to welcome you, Dean, to the show, man. I appreciate you jumping on. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Just to converse, I'm very happy, and to be doing it with you, a
Yeah,
friend
man.
of many years.
Yep.
That shit
It's
is always
pretty dope,
cool.
man. I so I want to start off, man. Like, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for jumping on this live too, because I've never done it before. This is a completely new way of me doing this, just to save a little time with editing and stuff like that. So I do appreciate it.
Fire.
But tell the people a little bit about yourself. One question that I always like to dive into right out of the gate is, who is Dean Morel?
Yes, I am. If I can like say it in the most minimalistic amount of words, just a good, kind-hearted person, bro. I'm just a nice guy. I had a good heart, good intentions. I always want to help, team player.
Word.
And yeah, that's it, honestly. That, I don't
Dope.
know if that sounds vague, but I mean that's like the best description I can say.
I mean, I
I
think
can give.
you're pretty popular around the way, and everybody
Oh, I
before
mean,
rap knew the way you were even before. Like, you are who you are. Like, what you see is what you get.
absolutely.
Always good vibes with you. Like, I'd see this dude anywhere, downtown, uptown, and
Yeah,
yo,
I definitely like to be outside. Yeah,
there's a lot of love
I
being
didn't think
here.
to incorporate like that type of stuff. Like, yeah, I definitely, I'm always outside for sure. I'm a people
Yeah, man.
person. I'm extroverted for sure. As much as I hate to admit it, because I'm always claiming I'm an introvert, and I'm definitely not. I'm just
Lies.
introverted. Yeah. I think I'm just introverted at home. Like when I'm at
Yeah.
home, I don't like noise. I don't want to converse. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. No, I could really say you're a good dude, bro. We know each other
thank
since
you. Oh,
the
forever.
single digits.
Yes.
My boy Scheme. Shout out to Schemes, bro.
Shout out to Schemes. Shout out to Kev.
um, Yo, so mainly what I want to talk to you about is I'm always wondering the way that specifically artists put together their content, their creative process and things of that nature. So you're somebody that's been doing hip hop since when? What would you say
I
you
want to
started?
say 2012.
2012. Okay.
2012.
And then what caused that? Like, what caused you to say, you know what, let me start putting this music
Yeah,
together?
honestly, well, what inspired me to start doing music, I think I just pushed myself. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I honestly didn't have the courage. I think I've wanted to do it prior to that, but I just never really had the courage or like any surrounding encouragement by other people, to get that kind of gas to push you when
Yeah.
you should never be fueled off of that anyway. But, again, I just didn't have that amount of confidence in terms of approaching this specific thing. I am
Yeah.
a very confident person, but sometimes it fluctuates depending on what you're approaching. And, you start to overanalyze things like, oh, why would I try this if I can possibly fail? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
long story short, I met I met Dub, Lenny, and I told him, I was like, oh yeah, I rap. I rap. Not really rapping like that.
Yeah.
But and he was like, yo, come through, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We start linking, built the friendship genuinely, very organic friendship. And from there, just me taking notes from him. Everything,
Yeah.
I was just mimicking everything he was doing, honestly, in terms of like getting equipment to record, staying consistent, writing. But again, it was a lot of confidence that he would instill, like he
Yeah.
wasn't telling me, okay, this sucks. Like this is not, you should be honest, but in the beginning steps, you don't want to like discourage somebody to the point where they get turned off and just, he kind of
Yeah.
saw the potential that I was like, oh yeah, he got potential.
Yeah.
But even prior to him, I met a dude when I worked at this ice cream shop. I was like 20 years old and like 19. And his name was Frank, Spanish rapper, calls himself Gotti. A great, amazing man. And he opened his home for me to come start trying to rap.
That's dope.
And yeah, and I was horrible. I can say that. I was horrible. And then I met Dub after. And then after Dub, I met my boy Dan, who's like somewhere in the universe, but he's good and
Yeah.
healthy and alive. But yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
pretty
pretty
much it.
dope, man. And what get you what I know you said you're a confident person, but what gave you the
Yeah.
confidence to say like, "Yo, I could go ahead and pursue this?"
Honestly, I hate that I keep saying Dub's name. I'm
Yo,
like,
by the way,
yeah,
Dub,
man. I hate that I keep saying Dub's name.
I don't know him like on a one-on-one basis. Like we've maybe met once or twice, bumped
Yeah.
into each other at a couple of events uptown. But he's another one. I mean, I'm always reposting his music. He's
Yeah,
just a
he's
fly dude. His
yeah,
it comes out through his words too. Super dope
absolutely.
artist.
Absolutely. I definitely, yeah, Dub. Like I honestly didn't have the courage. Like again, I didn't have the courage to keep doing it unless it was Dub, and I was like very competitive also. So I wanted to like get better than I wanted to be better than him
Of
because like
course.
he was levels beyond me when I started. So I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
I want to be better than him. Like
I
so,
got
but
you.
he kept me. He always kept me in the loop of things. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
And then that circle grew. You know, Telly's another great dude who
Shout out to
gives
Tully.
you great energy and makes you believe in yourself. I'm
Yeah,
speaking from the perspective of somebody who was very doubtful of himself. Like
correct. Okay.
so I'm always trying harder than the next person, honestly, because I'm never giving myself 100% full credit. This all sounds unhealthy, by the way. I'm hearing it out loud. So
But
please,
you
if you're
take
listening,
action on it though, like you
absolutely.
internalize that part where you're just like you may you didn't say fear, but like maybe you have fears of certain things and
No, it's
we
definitely fear.
but you go out and do it. So like
Oh, for
we
sure.
don't see that side, and that's not something that I want to dive into, but it is interesting to see that to see how confident you are in your raps. Like I remember even there was a time we were both in front of apartment 78 and
Yeah.
you started spitting, and this is
I
around the
can't
time.
believe that. Holy,
Yeah,
yeah.
I said
Yeah,
a couple
yeah,
of and we both looked at each other like, "Oh!" Like,
yeah.
and then you took it to another level, man. Like, I
Thank
remember, you had a performance too. I think you dropped like an LP or something like that, and you had a live band
Oh, yeah, the Apartment
at
78?
Apartment 7. Yo,
Yeah, yeah. That was an amazing show.
I was
That
blown
was an
away.
amazing
I'm like,
show.
this dude he's already there, bro.
Yeah, I was like locked in, like I was like, I had my dad being my manager. We were like really trying to like take this super to the next level. And
Yeah,
I had the band, I had my boy Julio, who's an amazing composer, amazing artist in general. We linked up with Frankie P. Frankie
yeah.
P made
Shout
a
out to
bunch of the
Frankie P.
beats. Yeah, Frankie P made a bunch of the beats. We made a really good project, but I think as an artist, I wasn't completely there yet in terms of my level of skill. I
Yeah.
had the writing components, but in terms of like vocally understanding tone, delivery, and all that stuff, it wasn't there yet. Very good
Okay.
project though. It was called Elevator Music. And
Yeah.
I don't even have that up on streaming. I'm gonna try to get it up on streaming.
You have to, bro. I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna talk about that track unless you want to, but
We
there's a
can talk
track.
about every single thing, anything
Oh, Frank
ever.
Abagnale. I brought it. Well,
Yeah,
I already brought it. I remember on the Telly episode, I was like, "Yo, I hope Dean don't get mad." But this Frank
never.
Abagnale is banana. When I say every time I see you in person, I'm like, "Yo, that shit was like miles ahead of anything anybody has
I
right
was
now," and I still
I was
stand on
on
that.
I was honestly looking for it. I still can't find it. I haven't heard it since maybe when I played it for you, when I sent it to you, or when however it was that that exchange happened. I've yet to hear it ever again. That was like Catch Me If You Can was my favorite movie at the time.
So break that down, please. 'Cause we don't
Uh,
have the audio, obviously, right? If we
nah,
did,
yeah.
that shit would be on repeat. But what was it? What was the track about?
All right, so it was a complete like I just put myself in the shoes as if Frank Abagnale, who was the main character of this movie, I don't know if he was the protagonist or antagonist because he was a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Um, and I just made believe he was a rapper, and I just put his whole life into bars over a beat that Frankie P had made on his Hazy Nights in the Heights, like the volume one. I think it was the first one.
yeah,
And at the time, Frank, I've known Frank since a kid, and Frank has always treated me like family. So I really am grateful for that. Even if we don't talk like very consistently, like he always treats me like family, bro. Like I swear,
yeah.
like I'm like a cousin or some shit.
That's
But
dope.
yeah, and he at the time was telling him I rapped, and I don't think he really believed me because he was getting into his beats for real. And I just ripped that beat off and I rapped on
Yeah, it
it and I
was
sent it to him. And from there, he was like, "Oh, you know how to put words together." I'm like, "Yeah." So from there, we built that, music relationship,
Yeah,
you know? So that
that
was
was
pretty
dope.
cool. That was the story behind
Yeah,
that. Like that's all it was. But I loved Catch Me If You Can like so much. I just watched it
yeah,
last week.
yeah. That's
So
a movie that I will never get tired of, because
yeah.
I'm one of these guys that always roots for the bad guy. I don't know if it's because where we're from that you
Yeah,
just it's like you see what you grow up around, and you just like you root
absolutely.
for that. You see, growing up around certain
And
type
he
of
was from the Bronx.
individuals. I
He
didn't
was
know
from the
that.
Bronx. Yeah.
I didn't
Frank
know that.
Abagnale
That's
was
a
because it's based on a true story. And
yeah,
Frank
correct.
Abagnale Jr. was actually from the Bronx, born and raised.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That is
man.
sick. That
Yeah.
that movie was the one that put me onto the Ray-Bans when the wafer Ray-Bans became a thing.
Ah, yes.
It was then when that movie came out, I was like, "Yo, I want those Ray-Bans." But it was so fly, like that bad guy type of being
Nah, he
schemer
was he was a
and getting
scammer.
away. Yeah, man.
Like what the
So,
scammers are on the clubs today, Frank Abagnale did it first. Feel me?
but it was sick. He was doing if nobody's seen the movie, which you should tune in. Um, he started messing around with fake checks, and this is back, I think, in the '60s, probably
Yeah.
even before
It's
that.
in the six no, it was in the 60s.
And it was like before his 16th birthday. It was crazy.
It was
16-year-old kid.
genius.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie. But
Genius.
me and Dean one day we were trying to get together to listen to some beats, and then he came by my house, and like we were listening to stuff, and he was letting me hear some lyrics, and then he put this track on, and I just remember this was like 2012, 2013.
Had to be. Yeah.
Blown away, bro. I got stuck. Mind you, this is a time where I was trying to pursue rap too, and I
Yes.
was just like, yo, it's almost like who said it? Like when Eminem heard that 50 Cent record, that he was like, "Yeah, I just want to quit." I was just
Oh,
like, "Yeah,
shit.
I'm not there. I'm not there." And then the way you rap now, like I listen to your lyrics, your flow,
Yes. Yeah.
everything is bananas, bro. Like I wouldn't, and I'm always very critical about my own stuff. And
Yes.
then if I hear somebody like, there's nothing that I would say, yo, that shit
Yeah.
is just on
Do
pocket,
this.
bro.
Thank you, man. I
Nah,
mean,
your shit is on pocket.
don't downplay Eden's word though. Eden's word was, I mean, that's
Yeah, he had
you're a poet,
his
man.
little moment, bro.
No,
It was
you're a
more of a
poet.
poet style.
You're
But
a poet.
talking about that, like the poet side of things, right? Because I do, like, I was listening to the track that we had just spoke about. Let me pull up the name of it real quick.
Frank Abagnale.
No, millions before amends.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got
Millions
deep
before
here.
man.
So
Yeah, I got introspective
a track like this, right? And then everybody check it out. It's on Spotify, all your major platforms. Plug that in there.
for sure.
Um, I see how deep you got into that song.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that creative process. Like, what does that look like for you, Dean? Like when you say, like, you listen to a beat,
Yes.
do you sit down and write, walk around? Do you remember, like, do you do a
Uh,
Jay-Z type of situation where
yeah.
you put
That's a
everything
cool
together in your
question.
head and then you talk
Um,
to us about that?
all right, that's cool. I always want to like properly. I've wanted to properly describe like my method and like how I create and shit. So, normally, bro, like I could write probably a song that you think is awesome. I could probably write that song like in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and sometimes I could take like 2 years, dog. Like
Yeah.
honestly, and I think Millions Before Men's was like a perfect example as a song that I wrote like in 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Wow.
Reason being is because the melody, it's a lot more melodic. So anything that's melodic is pretty easy for me to put together. But
Yeah.
I'm very, very particular with beats. I'm so picky. So it takes me a long time to put music out because like just sonically, I don't feel vulnerable to express myself to certain
Yeah.
beats. And that one spoke to me and kind of gave me the words already. So I can kind of hear like most of the time, this sounds crazy. When I hear the beat and it's the right beat for me, like the words are already there. The words are already there.
Got you.
Like I don't have to think twice. Like it's a free flow. It's like da, 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 da. And I don't get those like walls, those barriers, and it just happens in 5 minutes. And it's like
Yeah,
boom.
that's dope.
But
Just
then
like the melody is bananas on that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
Yes. We
Yeah, like,
might throw
but I
that on in a second.
yeah, for sure. And G Wagon Dreams, that which is my favorite rap record that I've ever made. Frankie P made that beat.
I second that, by the
Cool
way.
story behind that beat.
Break
I
it
wonder if
down.
I could
Tell us.
tell
Tell
that
us.
story. I wonder if I could tell that story. So as you know that, I wonder
I
if I could,
wonder
I'm
if I
gonna
could
tell it.
tell
I'm
us.
gonna tell it. I want Frank. I
Uptown
want
gets
Frank
real,
to
ladies
listen.
and gentlemen. Uptown gets
Yeah,
real.
I wonder if Frank is. Yeah, Frank is. He doesn't care. So that beat was ASAP Ferg's beat. That was ASAP Ferg's because you know he's ASAP
Yeah.
Ferg's artist,
Yeah.
and I think I could be wrong. I think I can be wrong. Either Ferg gave it to Rocky, and Rocky didn't do anything with it, and Frank was like, Ferg might use this. So the record you make, if Ferg makes a record, it's gonna go, obviously to Ferg.
Go that way. Yeah.
Yeah. But nothing ever came to, manifest out on Ferg's side. So then I thought of G Wagon Dreams, and that song took me a year to write.
So why so why is that? Why does it take you a year
Um
to write?
sometimes, bro, sometimes timing is everything, and life. You need life. For
Yeah.
me, I need life. I need to experience things. I need to process things in order to write. And I'm very I'm my mom blessed me with this gift of patience. Like, I'm very patient. I'm not lazy or inactive, but I'm very patient. I know when certain things need time to
Yeah.
manifest.
Yeah.
And I gotta shout out my nigga Low. Like, oh, I could curse, right, on this?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, bro. Do
Yeah, I
you?
could. My nigga Low, who helped me really like create that record. Cause in terms of creating, I mean, he taught, like, he was showing me how to rap that record. Cause I
Mhm.
had it written down. Like, I was like, oh, I got this idea, but I didn't know how to deliver that. So if
Yeah.
you hear the delivery in that, like, that's a lot of, like, learning process from my boy who was showing me, yo, say it like this, do that. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
He
okay. And I'm
Dr. Dre'd it for you.
absolutely, I was like, yo, I got all this. I got this. He's like, no, this is a record right here, but you not
Yeah.
rapping it right. And then from there, I'm like, what you mean? Like, I get a little defensive as an artist too.
Of
Like,
course. Yeah.
but constructive criticism is always an amazing thing to receive from people, especially people that know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
and applying it forward, and you come out with this great product. And like, I'm really proud of that song. I haven't pushed it. I need to make a visual. Telly been trying to make me a visual for 2 years, and it's all me. Obviously, it's not Telly's fault. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Um, which I'm still gonna push that record. I'm gonna push it out hard, like put some money
I would
behind it.
I would say that is by far my favorite record. That's why I chose to name this episode G Wagon Dreams.
Yeah, it's my
And
favorite record too.
I
Like, it
want
can go
like
on the
so
radio for sure.
no,
Like,
like as is right now.
yeah, it can be 100% on the radio without, like,
It
I didn't break my brain writing it, but it just came to me. It took a long time to come to me, and it came. And when it
Yeah,
came, it
nah,
was a
that
great
track
record.
is it's amazing. I think for me, what it does, like as a listener, hearing that song and just thinking about like the block 180 when the hustlers would
Hell
come through. You know,
yeah,
that
hell
that's
yeah,
where I'm at with it. Like,
hell yeah.
and I'm not saying that our block is better than anybody else's,
Ah,
but I am.
man, 180. What
But
up?
like the
180.
thing is, like how we grew up. The hustlers coming down the block in their fly whips. You know what I'm
We
saying?
went to
And
school, but we saw the hustlers.
we saw them.
I
They
said in a rap, I said, yo, I used to give the D boys 5 and they would give me 5 back. And I'm just talking about, like, they would here's some money. Go get a
yes,
sandwich. Go to
yep,
Blimpie. Go to
yep,
this.
yeah.
All the time.
That's why like it spoke to me so much. There was a time, and you remember when we had the basketball court in the middle of the
Oh
block,
yeah. Hell yeah.
and the dudes around, the hustlers on the block used to come through. This is
Shout
when
out
Flo,
Airball Man, by the way.
yeah, shout out to him. I know exactly who that is. It's my boy. We
shout,
go back.
shout out Airball
Um,
Man.
we used to all play on the block, and then like it would come nighttime, we all playing. They're like, "Yo, you guys hungry?" And they'll go get us Chinese food, but it
That's what I
wasn't no
need.
regular Chinese food. It was Flor de Mayo. Like it'll go
Yo.
down to 100 something street,
Yeah, man.
shrimps, all that stuff come back up. It was always love. So that's what I thought about when I heard G Wagon. So that's why when I hear your song, I'm like, I know exactly what he's talking about,
Yeah.
bro. Like
And
I was there.
Schemes is a very big part of that song too. Like, I kind of put myself when I get those. I don't even know that, but like, he definitely gives me, like, that's my blood. That's my brother forever. I love him to death. Like, he
Word.
gives me, like, I kind of steal his energy. When I wrote that record, I was like, oh, I'm Schemes. Like I'm Schemes a little bit. So I get that little
Yeah.
bit of aggression in me to talk how I want to talk, because I could talk it.
Yeah.
He'll tell me, he's like, yo, you could talk this shit. You from the block, nigga. You stood next to me. Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So it's like, And I get it, and I'm like, cool, but I still got to make it real to where it's like Dean, you know, like so I got to
Yeah,
make it about the, you know, on the block I'm considered the goody two shoes kid going to school, the pretty boy, always,
yeah,
you know, he got a girlfriend, the relationship boy, like you know, shit like that. So,
yeah.
but I
Yo,
was like,
shout
all
out to
right,
Schemes. I mean, we go way
yeah,
back. We
he's
actually just touched we've been talking lately
yeah,
because we
yeah,
got a group chat between a bunch of friends.
yeah. I
And
know
yo,
those friends.
he's
I
of
know
course,
those.
of
I
course.
shout out to Kayla. Shout out,
Yeah.
yo, I knew I know Kayla. I know Schemes. What was y'all teacher's name? The
Miss Brisson,
no, the one that he was having a barbecue. You weren't that
Theodore,
Mr.
Theodore.
Theodore. I know him.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Theodore. Like it's
So Mr.
crazy.
Theodore just made it to the podcast. Shout out to him. Yo,
He wasn't even my
talk,
teacher.
he was a strict yo. He would come like we talk about it in like in the group chat. How he would come to your house, bro, and have meetings with your mom in your house. He was that type of teacher.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Schemes is a crazy
Schemes.
ass dude, bro. And love seeing how much growth he's gone through. Like, and I'm not saying nothing crazy, of course,
No,
right?
no, no, no.
Nothing but respect. But like, I just love seeing how he is now, bro. Like, always been a lovable dude. He's about that street action too. But like, just to see him now, he's calm, chilling,
He's
raising
just got
his
a heart of
kids.
gold, man. His
Yeah,
heart, his feelings are his feelings, regardless if they're up or down, but they're 100% real. That's
yeah.
the thing. Like,
With him, it's literally like
yeah,
he will voice how he feels, bro. And it's dope that was it segued into your music, and that's why you bring them
absolutely.
up in the song.
Scheme like schemes. Like, cause I mean that's my brother. I'm always gonna talk about schemes in my rap. I'm always gonna he's one of the many fires that keep me rapping, you know? Like
Yeah,
he keeps that fire alive in me. And I can't thank him more. He's really a really, really, really pure inspiration for me and a muse. He's one of my muses that inspires me to keep going. So
that's dope, man.
I'm very grateful for that.
Pardon me. Let me take a sip of this
No,
Cologne.
absolutely. But yeah, shout out to Schemes, man. If I ever made it, he made it. So
Yeah, he
you know,
I love that
that's
dude, bro. Like he'll text me randomly, like, "Yo, I love you, Madrid."
yeah, man. He's that guy. He's that type of guy, man. And I annoy him too because I'm a very logical person, and he annoys me sometimes. But he's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
brother, so like
yeah,
we
yeah.
really have
That's
those brother arguments. Like,
and that's what it is. Like, when we touched base again, like I haven't spoken to Schemes in years, bro.
mhm.
And when he hit me up, it was just like, yo, it was the same dude from like second, third grade that I met. He's like, yo, like man, loud. He was on FaceTime on the train, just real, bro, as real as could get.
I love him to death,
You got
man. I think
this
he
is a
knows
dude that
that.
you got to
So
meet because he's bugged out, awesome dude.
he's
But
he's a he's the one.
yo, to really quick go back to like, I want to hear a little bit more about your creative process, man. Like you locking in. How does that process work? Can you go in a little bit more deep into
Yeah.
you writing and stuff, hearing beats and stuff like that?
Yeah, like again, when I'm going through beats is the most strenuous part of my process because of how particular I am. So it can take me a very long time again, like I said, to stumble upon something I love. I have to love something in order to rap on it. If I rapped on it, it's because I loved it. There's no
Yeah,
if, ands, or buts about it. Regardless if the
yeah,
record comes out good or if it's okay or it's subpar, like I love the beat because it gave me the words to put body to it and give it those garnishes that it needs. Like the beat is like a cocktail, like it needs garnishes, and the lyrics
yeah,
tend to be the garnishes, and the flows, all these things to make it, a beautiful piece of art to listen to or appreciate and envision. And when I find that beat, I like really lock in, and I can't explain the mode I get into, but I just start writing, bro, and write I'll write different verses, different songs to the same beat too. So I'll see what
yeah.
sounds best.
Oh, so
So
you go in like you don't just
yeah, like again, shout out to my nigga Low. I learned that. When you write and you write it to the beat, record everything you want to do, but sometimes there's other stuff that shit might have had to have gotten to it might
out your
have had
system.
to need to get out of your system in order for you to find the real words under there,
Yeah,
you know, which is why I do all these freestyles. I do these freestyles that I put out on Instagram as a lyrical exercise because it helps me keep my sword sharp, but also get rid of all the excess surplus amount of words that I have in my head, the thoughts, so I
yeah.
can narrow it down to get into these records, And
So how does that work? Like, what's your when you put these freestyles out? Like, are you prepping us for something, or you just showing the
yeah,
world like yo, like giving them
um
quick little jabs? Like,
little bit of both. It's I have this series of 30. I had dropped 10. I have like I have easily like 100 freestyles in my computer, but some of them are just not good enough to put out. Some of these freestyles I've rewritten. I take that seriously because it's a representation of me and it helps me gain fans. People
yeah,
look forward to the freestyles, and I just try to make sure I do it as best as possible because I I get these inspirations from Lil Wayne.
yeah,
Like Lil Wayne is in my top 5 for the rest of my life because he's another inspiration as to why I rap and as to why I like to attack on these random beats and stuff. Cause I just envision like, yeah, I need to do it as great as Wayne would do, or I need to be better. You feel me?
yeah.
And
That fast flow that you have, bro. Whew.
like, yeah, now like but I'm still learning it. I'm still learning how to do those pockets.
Yeah,
So I'm still
I've seen the like the growth as an artist that you've gone through,
yeah,
and but the thing is too, and maybe it's exercises that you're doing behind the scenes, but I really feel like it was from one moment to another, like you took your flow somewhere else.
because
What
exactly
happened
what you
between
said.
that time, bro?
The behind the scenes, like the behind the scenes. Unfortunately, I'm not documenting everything I'm doing.
Yeah,
Telly would be screaming at me right now. You need to be documenting, recording everything you doing, nigga. What the fuck you doing? Um, like uh, I write every single day, and like
yeah,
every day I write. Like even if it's one line, I write something. If it's an idea, I write something. I'll be on vacation, I'm writing. Every day I write because I'm like, I need to be better. Again, I have this thing in me that will not allow myself to pat myself on the back
yeah,
and say, yo, you're good. You're 100% good. Like you're good. I just don't have it in me. I don't want to say ever. That's a very definitive word. I need to always be a student. I need to
yeah,
always be a student and remain learning and be open minded to everything and everyone and all types of styles of music and genres and approaches. And that's what I do. And in that behind the scenes, like we were talking about, I study so much music. Like I really go into the hip hop stuff, but then I really go into like I love pop. I'm a big pop music fan. I love pop music. Like top
yeah.
40, I love pop music. So I listen to a lot of pop music. I listen to a
Like
lot of
who break that
huh?
down when
Oh,
you say
Killer Roy.
pop?
I love Killer Roy. He's a big pop artist. I love Justin Bieber. I go hard on Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
Uh who I still listen to NSYNC Car Body like a lot. These are
yeah,
my go-tos. Like, this is what I listen to every day on the regular. Like, I'm listening to NSYNC every day. I'm listening to Backstreet Boys. I'm listening to Justin. I'm listening to Killer Roy. I'm listening to
yeah.
Travis Scott. I listen to a lot of Travis. He's a pop artist to me. I mean, no
Yeah.
disrespect to him because he's a rap artist too, but he's a pop
I
artist.
feel you. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like because you live and breathe hip hop, like you have to disconnect it from your ears
Absolutely.
sometimes,
Yeah.
just so you
Oh,
can get
yeah.
like a different flavor.
I can't. I don't necessarily listen to rap all the time. My Spotify would tell you otherwise because apparently I listen to a lot of fucking rap. But
Yeah,
rap is like a couple of times a week, but it's honestly just the records I love. I listen to old pop records. Like I listen to Janet Jackson, I listen to Michael, listen to
yeah,
Prince, I listen
yeah.
to Stevie, I listen to Mark Anthony records. I was just bumping Rob Thomas. Like Rob Thomas, just give me your heart, or else forget about it. Like
Yeah,
I love these are the songs that I listen to, and then I'll go write the freestyles, the raps that you hear me when I'm going.
yeah,
And I guess it's because I'm disconnecting myself from rap music because I try not to listen to a lot of rap music. Why? Because subconsciously you're soaking in a lot of these flows, and you can
yeah.
tend to mimic. You can tend
Yep.
to mimic what you're hearing, and that's okay. Because if you mimic it and do it better, then hey, you know.
Yeah, the reason I 100% agree with you, there was I was working with a boy of mine, his name is Falasso. We were working on a
Mhm.
freestyle, a track, Childish Gambino song,
Love Childish
and
Gambino, one of my favorite artists, by the way.
dope. He said something about Buzz Lightyear,
Mhm.
but I didn't hear it. My subconscious heard it. So we're
Yes.
both in my room writing the 16, and when I write it, I'm like, "Yo, check this out!" Like, and it was like I just created a masterpiece. It had nothing to do with the way he laid it out and what he was saying,
Yeah.
but he was like, he didn't even say nothing. He was just like, And then when I heard it, he still recorded it. That's how much love he has for me. Like he still recorded it. We went through it, and I'm like, yo, I'm looking at him like, did he switch? And then when I heard his original, I'm like, oh, so like, but
What,
I'm
like you
glad that
mimicked
we
one of his bars? Like you mimicked
not the
an idea
bar,
he
but
had? The
like he
idea?
said, Buzz and Lightyear,
Okay.
and like within 2 bars.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. I said, Blunt's buzzing cousin, but we moving up in light years, and that's just a
Mm,
light year. Like
that's
I
bars.
said that,
I might
but he
steal
said
that.
something else too. It's all yours. But
That's busting
he
cousin.
was
I'll probably do that. Pay
Blunt's
homage
buzzing
to you.
cousin, but we moving up in light years, and that is just a light year. We bringing up the heights here,
Oh,
and
I'm definitely taking that, and I'm gonna pay homage to you. You'll see.
that was the bar. And then when I heard the song, I was like, oh man. And then I recently did the same thing with something else, and I didn't realize it, bro. So 100%, like, that's why music is such a beautiful thing. That's why music is not stealing. I think it's inspiration, and you borrow, because you could borrow a melody, and that melody with the words you lay on it will not sound nothing like what the other person said. Did
Hell
you
yeah.
see that I think it was a Drink Champs episode with Method Man?
I didn't get to see it. I haven't
Yo,
been watching Drink Champs a lot because I'm on and off. They be like 3 hours, 3.5 hours long.
yeah. The only thing I tuned into recently that was 3 hours was the Cat Williams thing. And I love the
That was
reason I
fire.
fell in love with podcasting was because I never noticed how much I really enjoy sitting down watching interviews.
No, yeah,
So
and
that's
and
the
a lot of
story
these
behind the
interviews
story.
are interesting and enticing as hell. Like they're
Yeah.
just
But
Cat Williams
what you
is
said,
great.
like I would at least I'll probably try to find you the soundbite of it. But Method Man was talking about the MATHOD man
Man.
came from a
Oh,
rock
yes.
song.
Yes, I
It
saw
came
that
from a
clip.
rock song.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they were asking, like, did they reach out to you, whatever? He was just like, it was inspiration. I wasn't trying to buy from, excuse me, just trying to buy from them. It was
Yeah.
just like, I just finished hearing that song, and I went into the studio and I created, you know what I mean? And that's what's
It
dope
was
about
it was
music.
from the Beatles.
Was it
From
the
the Beatles.
Beatles?
Yeah, it was the Beatles. He was like, "Hey, you get off my style. You don't help
Yes.
me." Yeah. And
Yep.
it was like, I forgot what record from the Beatles, and I don't want to disrespect them and not say the correct name. So, but it was
Yeah.
from the Beatles. That was
Nah,
cool.
it was super dope. And that's why, like, I could appreciate somebody like you saying, like, yo, I listen to, I was gonna say weird shit because I listen to weird shit.
It's not
But
weird.
like,
It's just music.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's music, but the
It's
way so like you can't say the R word anymore. And sometimes
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm that R word sometimes. But
Mhm.
like the way that you listen to stuff that I wouldn't have guessed. I would have
No.
never guessed. I thought you would have been on some Travis Scott, like hip hop,
Yeah. Which I do
But it's
listen
dope.
to, but it's not
Yeah.
my go-to. My go-to is like, I might listen to some Britney. I might listen to
Yo,
some
that's
Christina
crazy,
Aguilera.
kid.
Yeah, yo, and I know these songs like off the top of my head, bro. Like I'm listening to
Yeah.
Britney Spears Toxic, like
But
ain't
that's a
finding
fly
Amy, like
track.
it is. Yeah, you're toxic, love, baby, but the taste of your lips, I can hide. I love, I love
That's
those type
another
of
thing, by the
songs.
way, too. I hear your melodies, and I don't know if you purposely are trying to sing, but I hear you singing a
Yeah,
little bit,
I'm
and
building a
it's
lot more
dope.
courage. Like
Yes.
I'm working on this Forever album. I've been working on this album since 2012. But I'm definitely doing so many things that do not correlate to anything I'm doing right now. And
Yeah.
it's not I don't want to say it's necessarily experimental, it's just what comes to mind when I hear these, specific sounds and I get these
Yeah.
beats. It's just, and it happens to be melodic. It happens to be very vague in lyricism. Like it's not the hardest, most decipher like uneasy to decipher bars. Like they're just like black and white. This is what I feel. I just
Yeah.
want I just want to like speak. And I think
Yeah.
I really love the music. I play for my girlfriend a lot, like the songs that I'm working on. I'll send you something that I'm
Yeah,
working on.
I heard the freestyle you sent me.
Oh, that freestyle. So like,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So
I'm super biased, Dean. Like
no, no, yeah.
you could probably send me your worst shit that you think is, and I'm like, yo,
No,
this shit is
yeah.
fire, bro.
But I'll send you like that freestyle, which I'm gonna drop next week or like 2 weeks from now. Like that NLE freestyle is crazy. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop that. But if I send you the record that I'm working on, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? You're like, wait,
Yeah.
I thought I was about to buy a Dean album and hear and you're hearing like, just my truths. Even though
I
my
mean,
freestyles are my truths, but
that song right there, the Millions Before
yeah,
Immense,
yeah, yeah.
is
It
different.
a lot more, a lot more sonically. I don't even think it sonically is like that, but it's just, yeah, a lot more melody and harmonizing and just, me being braver. I,
Yeah.
I think I am a pop artist. I think like
Yeah, I
I,
encourage it, bro. I like
you know,
specifically with you because yo, sometimes I'm sitting there and I'll listen to one of your songs
mhm.
or your freestyles just on Instagram,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
I'll always repost. Like if I like it, and unless I
Absolutely.
forget, but
Absolutely.
I love seeing your stuff, bro. And when I see it and I hear it, I'll replay it because that I think that's
Awesome.
a hip
Thank
hop
you.
artist way. Like we'll listen to the same
Yeah.
song
Like, what does he
over
say?
and over. Yeah.
I
And
need
I'm
to
like,
decipher it.
I'm listening to what pocket you're in, and I'm like, yo. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering what was it that happened with that change? Because there was a change. Like it was an
Yeah.
extreme change. And I'm not saying like you were dope regardless, but
Mhm.
I like that you're testing out the waters with different flows, with different
Evolved.
melodies. You're singing a little bit, like all that
Yeah.
shit is super fly, man.
I think I'm so sorry to cut you off. I'm so
No,
sorry. I think a key factor in what artists tend to forget is not to be scared to grow, because what happens is, not don't be scared to evolve, because what happens is most of the time is you find something that works and people embrace the thing that works, and then you
yeah,
get caught into that thing that works because it works, and then
yeah,
that creativity starts to lessen and
yep,
decrease because you're now playing it safe, because now you're making money doing this, you're getting money off of what you're making. So like, oh, don't fix it if it ain't broke. So now you
yeah,
stay stagnant in your creativity. So,
yeah,
but so you're not allowing yourself to evolve and try new things and get better at different things. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm just, I'm
100%.
just now, I'm just now learning how to play the bass. I bought a bass 2 weeks ago and I practice 1 hour every day.
Your
Just to
pops
try.
is a musician too, though, right?
Yeah,
Like
my dad is a
you,
composer. He's
you
a
come from
baritone
music.
saxophone player. Yeah, my great grandfather is Juan Morel Campos in Puerto Rico, like a dope ass composer of music that I cannot claim, that I cannot say, oh, this is that and the third, because I have not done enough studies, unfortunately, into the depths of my family's music.
But
And
it's
I
in your
will.
blood.
It's in my blood for sure.
It's
And
in
I
your blood.
will. I don't necessarily like to talk about it a lot because again, I don't have that much information. And I do listen to my dad when he speaks about it. But I haven't had it in my heart to genuinely wanna know more, and I know it'll come one day.
Yeah,
But and again, going back to me talking about patience,
yeah,
I'm genuinely gonna wanna, find out more. My grandfather, Manolin Morel Campos, is another great composer that is very well known in that Spanish industry.
yeah,
And, again, but a genre of music that I really haven't taken heed to, and and given that time to listen to in depth. And I love salsa, I love
gotcha.
merengue, I love bachata, I love, my girl puts me onto boleros, and
See,
I'm now,
that's what so when we were talking
yeah,
about things out of the norm, I love
yeah,
Spanish music. Like
yeah,
salsa, I love it. Like your old school Julio Jaramillo, like all those
mhm,
artists from like Sabor a Mi.
mhm.
And my wife loves when I listen to those because that means I'm cleaning. Mom's going down in the house. Like he's playing that music, he's cleaning. It's either
Oh,
playing
man.
that music or if I'm on the phone getting some new information, some tea from the fam. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yes, he's about to start cleaning. He starts doing dishes, all this stuff." But yeah, that music is what really does it for me. Like that music makes me want to write some poetry. I haven't
Nah,
written
absolutely.
in a long time, Dean. A
I
long,
w
long
I
time.
really hope I really hope that when you find that moment that gives you that push to write, that you do it, man, and you don't let it go again, hopefully, Like, and it's
Li-
all in your time. It's in your time, you feel me? So you do it when you
Yeah,
wanna do it. Don't feel forced or pressure to do it to keep up or to like, "Oh, look, I'm still doing," like, nah. Whenever you feel
yeah,
like doing
nah,
it again,
exactly.
do it. And I gotta
I
say,
just,
like,
mm,
I'm sorry, I gotta, like, commend you because you're very inspiring to me because, like, your family, your household, everything,
thank you, man.
they're I only I'm happy to see it, especially when you document it and you publicize it to the world, which is really brave too, you know,
Yeah,
because there's people are haters out there, but like
yeah,
I think it's a blessing that you and I find it really cool that you share your blessings with us because I take
yeah.
it as a blessing. It inspires me.
Amazing.
I really want a family. I want to get married. I want, I want to do all these dope things. And
Yeah.
I feel like that all falls into artistry too, because, these new additions, like my girl, the things I want to do and evolving with her, like they inspire me to write,
Yeah,
these,
that's dope,
these
man.
new things, and
Yeah.
again, you just like, you're not scared to evolve. Like you evolved, and you're not just a family man. You're a man of many practices, and but I feel like you've mastered that father role, and it's definitely something I take note of, and I want to be like that with my
Thank you,
kids.
bro. I appreciate that.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah, like that's what I would say. Um, like family life is top priority for me. And then being 100% honest with you, and I said this when I was talking to Tully. Like I feel like I fell out of love with writing,
Mhm.
and but I still had that itch, like some type of create. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to be creative somehow, and then I found. And shout out to my boy Falasso. He was the one that told me. He's like, "Yo, you should start a podcast," because I'm
Mhm.
naturally curious, right? And
Mhm.
like naturally curious. Like even if me and you would have bumped into each other on the block, probably
Yeah.
would ask you the same questions. Be like, "Yo,
Absolutely.
what's up with the music?" Like you know what I'm saying, the
Absolutely.
same type of thing. So I kind of fell in love with this, not knowing, like watching interviews, watching podcasts, and also always about being my own boss, like having my own, foundation.
Yeah.
Like this could, God willing, blow up or it won't, but it's mine. You know what I'm saying? That those
Exactly.
are things that I learned about being a family man, starting different businesses and things like that. Like my thing is I'm always on some Dame Dash type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm just
Yeah.
like I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own stuff. Like little things like even when you were like, yo, can I curse? I'm like, yo, do you? I want you to be free, bro. This is your house. You know what I'm saying? Like
Motherfucker.
you do. Exactly.
Right.
Like do what you want. Like, no, who's gonna say anything? This is ours. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's why I always look at it too, like the day you make it, I make it, baby. Cause I'm like, I was there during the whole thing, and I'm like, I see you doing big things.
And not
And
only that,
I feel like we
making
all
it
win.
yeah, but I feel like making it is another added on pressure. Like,
True.
if you're doing what you love, man, and you're getting it
Yeah.
out there, regardless, like, you made it, because it just all depends on what your definition of success is. And I'm not saying shoot low. I'm saying
Yeah.
be happy with what you have and what you're
Correct.
doing. Be in the moment of what you're doing and continue to create and let it just organically evolve, man. Don't worry about analytics. Don't worry about numbers. If you stay persistent and you stay and you remain to try to get better, and you remain a student and just
Correct.
sponge like and absorb everything through trial and error, you are an artist. You're a creative throughout with
Yeah.
whichever facet of extension and dialect of artistry, like whether it be a
Yeah.
podcaster,
100%.
a painter, a a singer, a musician, a rapper, a
And
architect,
you know
whatever.
what's crazy, Dean? Like that's something that all like when I watch these interviews of people that are on, right? They always talk about like it's almost like shit got boring once they made it. And it's like we really have to take advantage of the journey. Yeah, the
Yeah,
journey is where the story is, like those nights that
absolutely,
you couldn't go to sleep, ramen noodles, all this stuff. Though that's
absolutely.
the real story people want to hear about. Like once you made it, you made it. Like it is what it is, and more power to you. But
Yeah,
just hearing people's stories over and over, and it's just like embrace the journey. And even what you saying, like there was, I'll probably send it to you, but there was a dude that was like, I think who it was, J. Cole,
mhm,
that he was like he envies a man that makes 50, 60,000 a year, but is completely happy with where he's at. Like he is
absolutely,
successful at, mentally in a place that like J. Cole, somebody who we consider successful, is not even there
absolutely,
yet. So
absolutely.
100% I agree with that. Bro, before we wrap up, man,
Mhm.
I do want to ask you, is there anything that you want to share with the world? Definitely share your handles or where people could find you. But
Yeah,
also what if you have anything coming up that you want to share with the world?
um, what do I have coming up? I'm supposed to be performing in Brooklyn in February 10th with Julio, the guy I spoke about earlier, who's my brother, like the guitarist, composer, singer, all these amazing things that he is. I'm supposed to be performing for one of his shows he's holding. I suck at information. This is kids, do not be like me. Artists, don't be anything like me, because like I got this like 25% tendency to not give a fuck. Um uh yeah, I'm gonna be performing soon in
You
February.
dropping that freestyle you
I'm
sent me,
be
right?
dropping, yeah, I'm gonna be
Hopefully.
dropping the yeah, I'm going to drop that. I'm gonna be dropping the next set of 10. There's gonna be a whole bunch of features, freestyles. Like this next set of 10 is gonna be with artists like ARP, with Telly, with I'm gonna get Dub to do one. I'm gonna get I'm gonna hit up Audubon. I'm gonna get Audubon to do one. I'm gonna do one with GTO. I'm doing all all my niggas that I'm cool with on the
Yeah.
musical. I want to get Glory. I never did anything with Glory for
Yeah.
some odd reason. So I'm gonna get him to do one. I'm gonna force him actually. I'm gonna do something with my boy Stat. I'm gonna I'm gonna
Shout out
do
to Stat, bro. He's
yeah,
another
that's
one that
yeah. Let me
is super
hold on.
dope.
Let me pay homage to Stat because Stat is a
Yeah.
dude that checks on me on the random. He's my brother. I love him. I hope he knows that I
Always
love
love
him.
with him, bro.
He always checks me just to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I send him every record I do just because he literally gives me constructive criticisms because he's an amazing artist.
Yeah.
He's beyond amazing. Like he's a composer. He is
Different spectrums.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Stat, I love you. Like
Yeah.
seriously,
Shout out to
I
him.
love that guy so much. So much of my love goes to him and everybody else that I named too, and the people who I didn't name. Jay Wise, the Corp. Shout out to the Corp Cartel. Like Jay Wise is definitely one of my inspirations because if it wasn't
Yo,
for him, I wouldn't have found out who Kanye West was. I wouldn't who's my favorite artist. I wouldn't have fell in love with rap the way I did if it wasn't for Jay Wise. Wanted to be better than Corp Cartel. Like that was like my
yeah.
thing. Like I want to rap better than Jay. I want to do like
Shout out
these.
to his clothing line
Yeah,
too, for the Fly
yeah.
Boy clothing. I just
These
recently
are
saw
local
that.
artists. These are our local
Yeah.
artists, but they're our artists. They're artists that these are people that I grew up looking at. You know,
Yeah.
not
Word
that
up.
they're old. I'm saying like these are just like they were just doing it earlier than I was, and they inspired me to do that. You know, shout out to
Word
Tana,
up.
shout out to Pelu, Chaos. But so many people. Ty Hayes, another person I love to death,
Yeah.
man. Ty Hayes always got love for me. He always swears that I'm the greatest rapper in the world, and I really think he's the greatest rapper in the world. But he yeah him again, Dub. Shout out to even to Fred Focus, an
Word.
amazing videographer. He started
Frankie
out,
P
we
for sure
started out
too with
together.
that G
Frankie
Wagon.
P, come on, like everybody. Telly especially, like that's my brother. That's so much love for him. We got so much love for each other. Charlie Cruz. I got to get Charlie on one of my freestyles
Mr.
too.
Brownwater Love. That I remember
Yeah,
this
that's
lyric
my
that he
brother.
said, Brownwater Love. Dean, thank you so much for being on the episode. This is live. It's gonna be on the YouTube channel. You can find it. Um, appreciate you, bro. Much love to you, the fam,
Thank you
the
so
whole
much,
block.
brother. Love to you,
Um, gonna definitely be
family.
looking forward to everything you got coming out, right?
Well, I'm gonna be sending you a whole bunch of shit now, so I'm gonna
Oh
just
yeah,
send
please.
everything. Like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
Just
I need to be on the stats level. That's the same thing.
oh no, I
Send me
got you,
whatever, bro.
bro. I'll start flooding your shit to where you'll be like, yo, man, like I haven't even gotten to the last song. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
all good, baby.
don't
I
worry.
love music.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so
All
much
right,
for the
bro.
opportunity, and I'm so glad we got to catch up through this, channel. And again, one last message to everybody: please do not be scared to evolve. Please follow your dreams. Please be patient with the things you want, but be grateful for everything you have. Please, please, please do not try. Like, please, I
Word up.
cannot stress that. Please try. Just try. That's
I got this message. Fuck with yourself heavy.
yeah.
Believe in yourself. Fuck with yourself heavy. I'm gonna make shirts, bro, that say fuck with yourself heavy.
Fuck with yourself heavy. Like, yeah. Please, man. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be me when I was 8 years old, scared of the snow, scared of the rain, scared of the wind. Like, nah, man. Do what you got to do and be great at it. And you're always good. You're always good. You're always good enough. You're always exactly what you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be at to get to where you need to go. So,
And be like Dean. He battles those demons or whatever it
yes,
is internally, and then
absolutely.
he still puts out the content. So
Absolutely.
you already know. I
Absolutely,
salute
man.
you, bro. Much love to you.
Oh, shout out to Dub Work. Our music is coming out soon. Yo, I suck. And no, you can't
It's so
single, no,
good.
you can't video, all streaming platforms. We got a project coming out. My project, music from the third floor. We working on it. Blah blah blah.
Yo, for any videographer needs, hit up your boy Telly Floyd.
Hit up
He got
Malala's
that
child.
heat.
You heard? Hit up
Malala's child.
Malala's child. That's my
Straight
brother
up.
for life. You
Peace
already.
out.
And my brother for life. Thank you. Love.